Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Kassandra and I'm going to take you through this morning yin yoga practice, which is really meant to help you wake up in a gentle way by opening up your body and giving you some nice stretches from head to toe. Since it is the morning, we're just going to hold the poses for about 2 minutes on each side. Usually in yin, I tend to do poses held for 3 to 5 minutes, but morning, I don't want you to fall back asleep, and I also know that we tend to be a little bit shorter on time, so it's just going to be 2 minutes. And this is a great sequence for all levels, and it's also great because you don't actually need any props for it. So don't worry if you don't have any blocks or bolsters or any of those things at home. However, of course, if you do own those props, you can certainly have them close by in case you want to use them. So we're going to begin in a half butterfly or head to knee pose. Keeping your left leg in, you're going to extend your right leg out to the side. So I'm opening up the legs wide here, making sure my weight is evenly distributed through both sit bones. And you can just rotate your chest so you're facing a little bit more towards that right knee and shin. And just let yourself walk the hands forward and relax, letting your spine naturally round. So if you did want to use props during this class, you can always put a block or a bolster underneath your head or your chest. But it can be really nice to just let gravity do the work for you here. We're not pulling, we're not pushing. Especially in the morning when we tend to be a lot stiffer and tighter. There's really no need to overdo it. Just try to relax in the pose when you get there. So with forward folds, we want to move out of them very slowly and mindfully. Try to use primarily your arms pushing into the floor so that you can lift back up. And before we go and repeat this on the other side, we're going to transition into deer pose. So you can just move your left foot a little bit further out in front of you, and we're going to bend the right knee, sending that foot back. So I have my right knee bent at a 90-degree angle, and you're going to push that right hip back and down as you walk your hands back behind you. And you really don't need to go very far into this pose to feel the stretch. We're just really working through this internal hip rotation, keeping both feet flexed, and just let yourself relax into it. These morning classes are a great way to set an intention for the day ahead. So as you soften here, you can start to ask yourself, what is your intention for your day? Sink your hands back in, taking your time. We'll be coming to head to knee or half butterfly on the other side. Before you do this, it might feel good just to do a little windshield wiper motion with your knees, or maybe just to straighten your legs out in front of you. So switching sides, you'll bring your right heel in and extend your left leg out. So widening the knees away from each other and making sure that you have your left knee and your toes pointing up. You can rotate your chest a little bit so you're facing towards that left leg, and then just gently inviting a forward fold here. Not forcing yourself into a deeper shape than your body is prepared to go in. This is meant to be a passive forward fold where there is no muscular engagement. Instead, we're allowing our bodies to relax and just noticing where that natural point of resistance ends up being. Keeping your breath rhythm steady in and out through your nose, sending the breath all the way down to your lower belly and lower back. Very slowly walk your hands in, just curling yourself back up. And we'll find our deer pose on the other side. So you can just move that right ankle out in front of you and bend into your left knee. So you have your hip and your knee aligned with a 90-degree angle in that left knee, flexing through your foot here. And you're just going to push that left hip down and back and start to walk your hands back behind you until you get that nice stretch through the inner thigh. I'm really not going too far into this pose. We don't have a lot of internal hip rotation in yoga. So for many of us who practice regularly, this can definitely become an area of stiffness and tension. So just holding here. Coming out of the pose, nice and slow. And just like before, notice what kind of movements would feel good for you right now, whether that's little windshield wiper motion with the knees, or just straightening your legs out in front of you, shaking them out. We'll come through a tabletop pose to set up for a dragon pose, which is really just a low lunge. So from hands and knees, you're going to step that right foot forward to the top of the mat, letting your hips press down. And you can always double up your yoga mat here to add a little bit more cushioning to your left knee. And I'm just staying up kind of on my knuckles here. Try to get your shoulders to move down and away from your ears. And you can let your belly rest over that right thigh. This is a great morning yoga pose to do if you're going to be sitting a lot today. So just breathe into the stretch. Focus on your right foot and really push your right heel into the ground to start shifting your hips back. We're coming through tabletop pose again. So on hands and knees. And before doing our low lunge to the other side, we're going to come into thread the needle. So staying on hands and knees, you're going to reach your left arm underneath you, lowering shoulder and ear to the ground. And the further you get your left arm underneath you, the more you'll feel this between your shoulder blades. And you can push your right hand into the floor to twist a little deeper. You can also extend your right arm up overhead, still here pushing your right hand into the mat. And try to lean your hips a little bit more over to the left. They tend to sway a little bit when we twist through the upper body. Just breathing here. if your right arm was straight, like what I'm doing, you can bend through your elbow, sliding that hand back. And we can all push our right hand into the floor to come back up through tabletop. And then we're ready to find our low lunge to the other side. So this time the left foot steps forward, and I'm trying to stack my knee over the ankle, melting the hips forward and down. And just letting our upper body relax a little bit here. Our arms are supporting us in the pose, but not trying to necessarily push against the floor. Finding your edge, not chasing intensity or sensation, and just settling here. So same thing again here, focus on your left foot, push your heel into the mat so we can shift back into our tabletop pose. And we'll thread the needle to the other side. So keep your hips directly over the top of your knees, and you're gonna reach your right arm underneath you, lowering shoulder and ear, and choosing if you're going to keep your left elbow bent or if you're going to straighten your left arm and twist this way. Lean your hips a little bit more over towards the right so that they're still aligned over your knees. Relaxing your neck and your jaw. Keep breathing down into your lower belly. If you had your left arm straight like what I'm doing, just bend at the elbow, push your hand into the mat to come on up. So usually in my morning practices, I like to skip Shavasana and do a seated meditation instead, just so that I don't fall back asleep. But of course, you're welcome to lay down if this is what you prefer. Otherwise, just sit up nice and tall and close your eyes once you're comfortable. And creating lots of space from the crown of your head all the way down to your tailbone. And just notice how you feel in your body at this time. You might choose to set an intention for your day by choosing one word that captures how you'd like to feel today, what you'd like to focus on. And with this intention in mind, let's join our hands together at the heart and close with one chant of Om. Inhale to chant, breathe in. Om. Thank you so very much, everyone, for doing this morning yin yoga practice with me. I would love to know what your intention is for today and how this class went for you. I have many other morning yoga practices here on my channel and inside my mobile app. I will link to those below if you'd like to make this a daily habit and routine. Thank you again, and I'll practice again with you soon.